All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein, and I will be your presenter for the next 20 minutes. Today, we're going to be going over the browse window in donations. So, how to manipulate the browse window, how to go about correcting and reversing a transaction. And then, if we have time, we'll go over some questions. But before we jump into that, I want to show you just a couple things on our website and also how to manipulate the GoToWebinar toolbar that you have. There is a place to ask questions. So if you expand the little section called questions, you can go ahead and type in any question that you might have regarding today's topic. It is just me and Josh here today. Josh will be doing questions, so I would ask that you really try to keep those questions topical for him. There are a lot more of you all than there is of us. So if you could keep your questions topical, that would be great. If you have more of a specific question or an off-topic question, feel free to send those in to us at support@churchwindows.com, or just give us a call and we're happy to help you answer it. Also, on your GoToWebinar toolbar, there is a little small right-facing arrow. At least it's right-facing on my screen. It's orange and white. If you click that, it shrinks up that big GoToWebinar toolbar, giving you a little bit more room on your screen if you need that. Okay? So you should be seeing our website, churchwindows.com. A couple things I want to point out to you that I think you'd find beneficial. Over here on the right, under this Using Church Windows bubble, we have a couple great tools out here. So first thing I want to show you is this new version resources link. This is where a lot of our movies go. Also, and a lot of our webinars that we do, we record, clean up, tweak a little bit, and then we put here under this new version resources link. So lots of movies out here. They're at no cost to you. So if you have time, really recommend coming out here and checking out these movies. Lots on donations. I am recording the one today, so hopefully we'll get that cleaned up and out on the website. But also there's a lot on membership too, with the new membership changes in 17. So if you know somebody that's working in membership, maybe they're struggling with the new version, you can always direct them out here. They can watch these at any time. Also, back over to the left, want to show you this support blog here. Support blog is a bunch of our documents that we've created. Some of them are from older versions, so make sure you kind of pay attention to the version that's listed. A lot of them will have it here in brackets. But you can search by a specific topic in here, or you can go to the different modules and see what we have. This is constantly getting updated. We're working to get lots of help on the new 17 version. We have a lot of movies. Now we're kind of working on getting it in text. But come out to the blog. Lots of great stuff out here. Okay? One more thing, and then we'll get on topic here. Let me go back to our home page. Right up here, download updates under customer support and install help. This is where you're going to find our most current version. So if I click on download updates, our current version of Church Windows is 17.14.4. Okay, so if you're seeing something prior to the .4, you can come out here and download the update. Here's some installation instructions. Here's where you actually click to download it. If you need help, call us, ask for an install tech, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay, let me get rid of my drawings. Minimize this, and let's get into Church Windows. Okay, so your version number is always going to be listed here on the main screen up in the top right. Okay, so today we're working in most current .4. If you're seeing something prior to .4, get out to the website, get that update. Okay? It's always good to be current. But let's go into donations. And today we're focusing on browse. There's two places to get into the browse window. You can click on the nice quick link here, I like to call it, or you can come up here and hit the browse of the ribbon. Take you to the same place. It's just, whatever is convenient for you to get there. Doesn't really matter which way you go. Okay, so the browse donation window. Very powerful, does a lot of stuff, gives you a lot of great information about your transactions. So every time you enter donations and you post them, transactions are created. And to find those transactions, you can come into this Browse Donations window. Okay, by default, the Browse Donations window is going to be sorted by giver. Okay, so you are always going to see, unless you change the default, you're always going to see all of your givers listed out here. Long list of them. V's, obviously that tells you that's a visitor. And then you're going to see their total amount, what that person has given so far. Okay. Another quick thing or good thing to note is it's going to default to your year, your giving year, if you will. Newer versions are going to have it here also. Old versions will just have it up here. But just a quick place to see what date range you're looking at. So for the year of 2015 so far, quickly scanning through my people, I can see how much each person has given thus far. Okay? Now, another great thing, if you double click their name or click the little plus sign next to their name, it's going to show you that person's specific transactions. So it's going to show you all of the donations that this person has made so far within the date range. Okay, so we can see quickly for Lucy, she's given $50 thus far for the year, and then we can also see her transactions that we've entered for Lucy. All right, now say we need to search for somebody that's a little further down the list. If you don't like the option of scrolling and kind of searching for someone, for example, you can come up here in the giver box, you can type their number in. It's going to take you right to that person quickly and show you their transactions. James just happens to have one transaction. Or you can also type in their name. James is obviously a dupe, but here's James. We have 4 transactions for James. Okay, so you can search by number, you can search by first name, last name, whatever's convenient for you. Or you can do the simple scroll through and find the person. Whatever's best. Okay? Now, by default, this box here is going to be checked. If this is checked, that doesn't mean that the person we pick is inactive or terminated. It just means that this filter, when you search for someone in here, it's going to also look at terminated and inactive people. Okay? So that's all that's telling you. If you don't want terminated and inactive people included, you can simply uncheck the box. Okay? But this list below is only going to show you people that have giving in this date range. If you're scrolling through and you can't find someone, that tells us that they don't have any giving. Now, sequence by giver number. This is also part of this search. If this box is checked, it's going to sort the people in the drop box numerically. Okay? If it's not checked, it's going to sort the people alphabetically. Okay? And you might, this is on a lot of different windows, especially on enter donations, but sequence by giver number just means it's going to sort the people in the search box numerically. Okay? If you don't use a giver number, it doesn't need to be checked. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I want to show you this section here. A lot of users I talk to, I feel like, don't know what this section is or what it does. This is just a different way to group how this list below is going to look. Okay, so like I said, by default, when you come in here, this screen is going to be sorted by giver, which you can tell quickly because giver is here. But say you wanted this, instead of sorted by giver, you wanted it sorted by date. You can drag and drop giver, put it back down in your column header, and then you can click on donation date and pop it up here. Now it's going to change how this window is organized. So now every time a donation has been put in, it's going to group it by that date. And then you can, of course, expand it and see the person. Now let's say I want it sorted by donation date, but then I want it sorted by account. So now you have a subsort or a subgrouping. So under donation date, now it's showing you each account that had money given to it on this specific day. And then if you also expand the account, you can see the people. Okay, super helpful. It's not something you have to use, but it is a nice option for organizing the screen quickly. Okay, now let's say you've played around with these and you want to get it back to what the default is. If that's the case, you can come down here at the bottom and hit this Restore Default Layout Options or Layout button. By clicking that, it's going to take you back to having giver and back to the original way of grouping this window. Okay. All right, next I want to go into this Change Dates, Filter, and Sort button right here. Okay, this is really where this screen gets really flexible. So we're going to hit Change Dates and Filter and Sort. And in here it's nice because you can find a person, you can find a donation, a transaction, you can find things by a check number. Say you know you need to make a correction and you know what the check number is, but you can't remember who the person is or what date it was from. You could simply type in that check number here and hit OK, and it's going to find it for you back on the browse screen. So let's see if I can find a check number to show you as an example. Probably should have, here we go. We'll do check number 754. So say you know the check number, but we don't know that it's Jack and we don't know the date. We can hit this button. In our check number box, we're typing in 754. We're hitting OK, and it's jumping right to that transaction for us that we can make changes to if we need to, or if we just need to look at the information about it. Okay. Filter sort's great. Now, say we want to clear this out. We want to go back to seeing everybody, not just Jack. Down at the bottom, you can hit Clear Filter and Sort, and that's going to remove any of the specific information that you put in here. So Clear Filter Sort, now we're back to everybody again. All right, so let's go back in here. So of course you can search by giver. You can search by a specific giving account. Say you want to see everybody that gave to general fund. Pick general fund, say OK. And here's everybody that's given to general fund. We'll clear, filter, and sort again and go back in. Check a reference number. You can look up by user. So that would be when the person logged into Church Windows. You could search by their username and see what transactions they've done or things they've changed. You can search by specific batch codes. You can also search by a specific giver number range. So say you only want to see, say you give youth envelopes out for kids 200 to 250. Those are those kiddos' envelope number. You could put that range in here and then you would only see the giving for those people within that range. You can change your date occurred. This is a big one, folks. So say a lot of questions arise at the beginning of each new year. People need to know, well, how do I change my date range to go back to last year if I have just a couple things I need to change or correct? All you have to do here, change your year. Okay? There's no jumping years and donations. You just come right in here into the date occurred and you change it to what date you want. You can go back to 2000 if you want to. Okay, so just simply clicking in there, changing the year to what you need. Okay, date posted. This is the date the user actually sat at the computer and made a change. So if you can't remember the date occurred that you used, but you remember that you made changes 2 days ago on the 6th, you can put that date posted date in of the 6th and see everything that was done on the 6th. Transaction number, pretty straightforward. If you know the transaction number, you can query on that. You can also query on amount. Say you know the gift was for $25. You can type the amount in, or you could do a range. Okay, so lots of options. Group and sort tab. This is very similar to what we did back here, where we changed it to donation date and then account. If that's something you want to do, you can definitely do that. We'll go to donation date and account. Hit OK. And this is going to do very similar to what we had done up here. Okay? Let's clear that out. Also, you can do totals only. Really come in here and play. Group and sort has lots of nice options for you to really get the browse screen to reflect what you want to see. Also, you can go down to save selections down here at the bottom. So if you want people to, or if you have someone who has the sort field set up exactly how they want it, and they want the program to remember it each time, you can check the save selections as default. So every time you pop into browse, it's going to remember the sorting and the grouping that you want. And then there's the reset sort, similar to the clear, which will take you back to the defaults. All right, columns tab. Lots of options here too. These are simply the defaults. So these visible columns here, these are the column headers that you see here. Okay. If you want to adjust the order, highlight, move things up or down, or you can move different fields over. Okay. Same thing, save selections as default. For me, I like the pledge column to be over here, so I can see what gift went to what pledge. If that's something you like over there and you want to save it as a default, and then it'll always be there when you pop back in. All right, have a couple things here from Josh. Let's see. Okay, on the filter tab, you can combine things. So say you want to look at an account and a batch code, or a range and an account. You can put more, you can fill more than just one of these in. You can do multiple. Okay. Yeah, so say you want to see everybody that gave in January. Oops, we'll go through the end of the month. And want to see just those people that gave to the general fund for January. Say OK. And that's going to give you just the people that gave in January and how much they gave. Okay? Now, let me get back to where we were. Okay, last thing I want to do here is show you how to correct or do a reversal. So, main thing with correct and reverse, you see these buttons are grayed out if you're just selecting on the person. Okay? If you're going to make a change to a specific transaction, you have to highlight that specific transaction before these buttons are going to become active. Okay, so make sure that if you want to correct transaction 1502, 1502 is the one that's highlighted. If you're just highlighted on Lucy, the buttons are going to be grayed out because it's not going to know what you want to fix. Okay, so let's say, for example, Lucy's gift here, we want to make a correction. It was really supposed to be $30, not $25. We're going to hit the correct button. Our nice little correct donation window is going to pop up. You can change anything in here, okay? the donation date, the giver, if you put it to the wrong person, clear out Lucy, put in the person that you need, the payment method, the check number, all that fun stuff can be done right here. Same with the giving account. Okay? But for this, we're just swapping it to $30. Okay? Once you're fixed, say save, or if you're using accounting and you need to go over to accounting, do a save and transfer. And it'll tell you that the original transaction has been reversed, which is this one, and it's been re-entered, which is this one. Okay? Now, let's say, for example, that we need to reverse this completely out. For whatever reason, we put this in for Carolyn, it needs to come out. If that's the case, you click to highlight it, and instead of going to correct, we're going to go to reverse and NSF. Usually recommended to reverse for the date occurred. I would say stick with that option unless you have a specific reason to go into this advanced options tab. Reverse original transaction. Enter a comment. I don't know, whatever works for you. And then do an OK and transfer. If you're using accounting, that money needs to be reversed out of accounting. Or say OK if it just needs to take it out of donations. Are you sure you want to permanently reverse? We're going to say yes. And now Carolyn's off our list. Okay? Alright guys, well that really covers, I know it was a lot and I went a little fast, but there's really a lot of powerful stuff here in Browse. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in. We'll hang out for a couple minutes, but if not, we'll close up shop. Someone's asking, can you change the giver name or do you need to reverse and re-enter under the new name? Patty, you can definitely do a correction to the giver. So you have to find the donation that's to the wrong person first. So let's say we accidentally entered something into Lucy, giver 4, and it really should have gone to Lucy, giver 10. Say we got our Lucy's mixed up. So this transaction we need to fix. So you click to highlight the transaction you need to correct, hit correct up here, and then in your giver box you clear out the wrong Lucy, put in the right Lucy. Now we have the proper giver, and just hit save. No need to transfer anything to accounting. Accounting doesn't care who the giver is. Say OK, and now that gift has moved. Okay? Let's say somehow I got rid of donation date on accident. We're going to put that back. There, that looks better. Okay, let's see what else we have. Donna's asking, can you do multiple correction entries at the same time? Example, entered givers multiple donations as unpledged need to be entered as pledged. Donna, you can't. Each transaction is going to have to be corrected separately. So if you have somebody and the transaction numbers the same, so say Lucy gave to multiple accounts and all the transaction numbers are the same, when you hit correct it'll show you each of those line items. But if the transaction numbers are different, they're different transactions, they need to be corrected separately. All right, we'll give about another minute here, so if someone's typing, they can finish it up, and if nothing pops in, then we'll close out. Jan is asking about corrections and transferring over to accounting. You can definitely make a correction into accounting or in donations and then transfer it over to accounting if that's what you need to do. But keep in mind that not every correction that you do in donations needs to be sent over to accounting. Or keep in mind that if the correction is from January and it's July, it might not be something you want to transfer over to accounting because it could throw off your reports. But yes, you can definitely make a correction, transfer it over. So if we correct this, and we take the amount back to 25, for example, and we do save and transfer, it's automatically going to open up that transfer screen. So, well, let me see. I'm not sure where it went, but either way, you can definitely make a correction, transfer it over to accounting. But the biggest thing you want to keep in mind, Jan, is that not everything has to go. So you can definitely make a correction in donations and then go over into accounting and just do a simple journal entry if that's something that you need to do. Okay, and Jan, if you have specific questions, call us. Today's just real simple overview, but if you have questions, call. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar. Covered a lot today. Hope you learned something. And if you have questions, of course, call us. We're happy to help you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks.